not simply walk into Mordor.
Break out the ale! These men are thirsty!
All right, that was a short but brief clip to show that Boromir is just kind of a dirty blonde in this movie. And that is against specifically what Tolkien says about Boromir. He writes this here. I think this was the only quote where actually he talks about his hair. I looked for a little while. This is as after Boromir was killed defending Merry and Pippin. Tolkien wrote, they laid Boromir in the middle of the boat that was to bear him away. The gray hood and elven cloak they folded and placed beneath his head. They combed his long, dark hair and arrayed it upon his shoulders. They didn't comb his long, dark, dirty blonde hair. They didn't comb his frosted tips. They combed his dark hair.
I found one more.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
This is the Council of Elrond, chapter 2 of the.
How did I miss that? I looked.
And seated a little apart was a tall man with a fair and noble face, dark-haired and gray-eyed, proud and stern of glance.
I'm surprised I missed that. I read through that and I must have just not read that part at all. Yeah, so and that's because his heritage ultimately is from the House of Beor, which is barren, and it goes all the way down, and they have dark hair that's from the very beginning. Like that's kind of where it comes from. And the same thing with Aragorn. Aragorn has dark hair. And so the question becomes, between him and Aragorn, would it have been better in a sense to show that there is a kinship to them by making them look more similar than the distinct difference that there is in their hair? I mean, their facial features wouldn't matter as much, but it would have made his hair dark. I think it would have shown like, oh, there's a relationship, at least some sort of a genealogical relationship between the two at some point.
Right. So these changes with Boromir, I think that was pointed out to in the thread on the onering.com that they also brought in another cosmetic thing, that he doesn't have armor openly the way Gimli does. Gimli's the only one that showed his armor. So again, these are cosmetic changes to Boromir, and we will go forth and answer our 3 questions with regard to those.
All right, here we go. First one, guys. Is it lore friendly? Is it lore friendly?
Lore friendly. Again, is it in the spirit of the lore to change his hair color? Is it play somehow to the lore to have him blonde haired or dirty blonde? No. I mean, I can't see that being a yes. I don't. Heritage wise, he's similar, and there's multiple times at which we meet dark-haired Gondorians, like Merry, when Merry sees the messenger from Gondor in the tent of Theoden before the weapon take, before the riders of Rohan ride to Gondor's aid. He sees a dark-haired man, and he thinks it's Boromir at first because he looks so alike to Boromir. Right. There's other, Faramir, also dark-haired. Tolkien's making a point, giving them dark hair. It's the point, I think, is about the lineage, as you mentioned. So is it lore friendly? Nah, it isn't.
Yeah. There's definitely one we agree on. It is definitely not lore friendly. There's the point to having the dark hair. It's not just a random choice.
Exactly. And that's why we don't consider it just like a purely cosmetic change. Like Gimli has a couple different axes instead of his one axe. It's actually part of the heritage that Tolkien's pointing out.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so does it make for better cinema? No. In fact, I think it makes for worse cinema. I think it was a bad decision. They should have stuck with showing that the men of Gondor are similar and they come from the same stock.
Yeah, on this issue, 100% in agreement with your point that they should have shown the kinship between Aragorn and Boromir. So nope. Yeah, this is a quick one.
Yeah, it is. All right, how much do you like the change? I don't. It's kind of fun. I feel it's completely worth. All right. Do I want to? The question is, how low of a one do I want to go? I can't go as low because it's not going to be the lowest one ever. All right, I'm going to go 1.6.
So you very much did not like it then. Did you notice it, by the way, when you were
watching? It seemed weird to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I did. Because I know both he and Faramir, and maybe he had to give Faramir the blonde hair. They did that because they wanted them to look like brothers more. So they added that similarity to it. But I feel like it changes the intention of Tolkien. I don't really like that. So that's why I give it such a negative.
Yeah. I, as is my want, apparently, as we've noticed now over I'm more forgiving about it. I don't like it. It's a dislike for me, but it's not. It doesn't irritate me that much.
Yeah.
So I just think it's an opportunity missed more than I give it a 2.1. That's
2.1. But it's such an easy change that they didn't need to make. Maybe that's why I feel like it's so low for me, that they didn't need to do it, but they did it anyway. Flying in the face of what Tolkien wrote. So
Yeah, I give it a little higher. Maybe it would have been like a 1.9 or 2.0. I do give it a tiny bump because I understand visually from a cinematic perspective, it's good to have people of contrasting hair colors on the screen. Just like the clothing difference. I understand the purpose that they're doing it for.
yeah, agreed. Yeah. All right,
You know,
guys, that's all of them for this week. I'm gonna here. Let's take a quick look since we've got this up on the screen. For those who are listening, where do we stand now with our changes? Well, for when it comes to is it lore friendly, Michael is 6 out of 12, and I'm 4 out of 12.
wait. No. You gotta update the numbers before you say that because we just did one.
Oh, okay. Let's up. You're right. So Michael is 6 out of 13, and I'm 4 out of 13.
Right.
Because we're just adding this one to it. You're right. For does the change make for better cinema? Michael is 8 out of 13, and I'm 6 out of 13. And for our average of how much do you like the change? Oh, let me throw this into my my little calculation here. So you're 3.4 on this one, and I'm no, sorry, you're 2.1, and I'm a 1.6. So now your average, Michael, is 3.3 overall. Went for how much did you like the change? And I'm a 2.8. Oh. The question becomes down the road, does my dislike of these films show because my average is going to be lower than 2? will I get there? I don't think so. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Remember, like we've said this before, but it is worth saying every few episodes.
Yeah.
We're not rating every aspect of the movies because if we were, we would be rating all the good stuff that matches the lore, and
that's
you would
right.
get a favorable impression. We're only rating where where it differs from the books. So automatically, especially since we love the book so much, we're going to be giving it a lower score than other people might. I just want to make that clear because some people, because this is the internet and this is what people love to do is yell. So some people are really upset by quote unquote how negative we're being. I just want to point out we are purists. We love the books. And we're analyzing only the places where Jackson changed the books.
Right.
So
we're not analyzing like are the Hobbit holes still circular? Are they still round?
Or
right? That'd be a 5.
What do we think of the Shire, the representation of the Shire visually? Actually, it's fantastic. Yeah. Not perfect, but it's fantastic.
We'll get to the party tree eventually, but yeah.
So, but that's one aspect. Like, so we're not just analyzing, what do we think about the Fellowship in general? And
like I said when we started this entirely long episode, we are not here to say we dislike the films because of these changes. We're here to just comment on the changes. We can still like something even though it's changed. Like I said, my lore friendly score is low, but my make for better cinema is higher. So that means that I feel like the lore wouldn't have made for good cinema.